Hey everybody, how you doing? Mark here in my kitchen, ready to make dinner yet again tonight. And tonight I need to make a no sodium tomato sauce. That's right, you heard right. It's going to be a no sodium tomato sauce and I'm going to turn it into spaghetti. Very easy process, it really is. I've only got a couple of things to maybe cut up, but I also want this particular sauce to have meat in it, so I am going to brown off some hamburger, but it's a very versatile sauce. You can leave the meat out, put it in a blender or a food processor and puree it for a little while. It can make a great pizza sauce, or even a tomato sauce for like a lasagna or something like that, you know, just a pasta bake. So I've got everything laid out on the counter as per usual, and I will show you exactly how I'm going to make this sauce. Okay, so as I said, I need a pound of meat here. This is a standard 80-20 ground beef, very common, easy to find. Okay, I'm going to brown that off in a fry pan. To that, I am going to add one finely diced onion, a couple of tablespoons of minced garlic, and then once I have all that all cooked off in the pot, I am going to add a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. Look at that right there, no salt added, okay? That's what you're looking for to make this a no salt recipe. I've also got a 6-ounce can of tomato paste. Again, this is a no salt product. I'm going to need half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, and again, that is a no salt product, okay? This is optional, you can add it if you'd like. It's crushed red pepper. I would go anywhere between half a teaspoon and a full teaspoon. Kind of depends on your taste, on if you like it spicy or not. Got some olive oil here. I need a tablespoon of olive oil, balsamic vinegar, a tablespoon of that. Got some brown sugar here. I only need half a teaspoon of this. But again, it's up to you on how you want it to taste. If you want a sweeter sauce, add maybe up to a full tablespoon of the brown sugar, but I'm just going to use a half. I also got a 1 3/4 cups of water, and again, if you like a thicker sauce, use less water. If you like a thinner sauce, add a little bit more. And this right here is the kicker. This is my homemade Italian seasoning mix. Again, it's a no salt product. It's got oregano, basil, fennel, marjoram, onion powder, garlic powder, red pepper flake. I mean, it's got a ton of seasonings and herbs in here. That's good stuff. It really is. Then, of course, I've got my pasta, which we need to boil off. But we need to first use all this stuff to make the sauce. Okay, guys, I know I just threw a whole bunch of ingredients at you, and that's very common with Italian cuisine. There's a lot of herbs and spices that go into Italian food, but it's so simple to make, okay? Yeah, you're gonna have to spend some time measuring a few things. That's okay. You can do that, right? Okay, so let's get into this. This is great. I wanna get going. I wanna eat. Okay, a fine dice on an onion. As you can see, I've already cut off the top. I left the root intact. We're just gonna bisect this onion right now, just like that. Put that down for right now. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just make small little slices, maybe only 1/8 of an inch apart from each other. Just like that, okay? So now I've got small little slices, but I didn't cut all the way through. I kind of kept it together right through this area here. And then we'll take it and we'll do again like an 1/8-inch slice. Look how fine that dice is that I'm getting off of this onion. Okay, now that little bit right there, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to cut any more off of it. I'm going to push all this stuff aside so I can do the other half. Same exact thing. Again, just about an 1/8-inch slice is all I'm doing. Again, I'm not going to worry about cutting this up anymore. It'll just get discarded. Alright, so I've got my pan right here on my stovetop. I'm going to turn that on to a medium high. For me, that's about an 8 on my dial here. Get my pan warming up as I cut this open. Be careful not to slice your hand, of course. Drop the meat right in there. Just take my wooden spoon here and just start breaking it up. And we'll start getting this all browned off. And once it's probably about halfway cooked, we'll start adding the onions and the garlic. Now you'll notice too, I've got a pot sitting right here next to me. What that pot is my water for the spaghetti, but I've got to make this sauce and let it simmer for about 30 minutes before I even put it into the spaghetti. So I'm not going to turn that burner on just yet. And like I said, if you don't want to make this a meat sauce, if you want to leave it vegetarian, go right ahead. Just leave the meat out, saute the onions and the garlic, and then proceed on from that point, okay? All right, guys, as you can see here, I've got a little bit of pink still in the meat. See that? So this is maybe halfway done. I want to get my onions and garlic in here. So there's the onion. Then I'll add a nice big tablespoon of garlic. I like garlic. I want to have garlic in there. Now also, guys, if you wanted to add more to your sauce, if you want to add green peppers, if you want to add mushrooms, anything like that, red peppers even, again, it's up to you guys. Play with it. Throw in that shallot that you've been going, what is this for again? Mince it up and add it in here. It will work. Trust me, it really will. All right, so you see how those onions are? They're kind of turning translucent. That is what I'm looking for. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pan over to my sink over here and drain off the grease. Okay, just dump it right in there. All right, now this will go right back on the burner. I'm going to turn this down to about a 2, but it's still very, very hot. Here's the tomato paste. All right, now to my sauce here, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons, and again, up to you. If you want to do 3, you do 3, but I want 4 tablespoons of this Italian seasoning blend that I made up. And I know you didn't see me make the seasoning here, but I'll have the ingredients and the amounts in the description down below. All right, there's number 4. Now I'm also going to add tablespoon of oil. This again, it's just olive oil. I'll do a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. All right, let's give this a little bit of a stir in here. Oh, all those seasonings from that Italian mix. Oh, it's just amazing. Just smells so good. All right, now I'm going to add the rest of these seasonings. I want a half a teaspoon. Now this measuring spoon I have is a full teaspoon, so I only filled it halfway, okay? So that's a half teaspoon right there. That's a black pepper there. This is liquid smoke, 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, and it's very powerful stuff. So that's going to be a very strong, smoky flavoring. And if you don't like that much smoke, cut back on it, okay? I'm only going to do a half a teaspoon of the red pepper flake because I also have a red pepper flake in my seasoning. All right, then I'm going to do a half a tablespoon of brown sugar. Just put that in there. And now what I'll do is I'm going to add my 1 3/4 cup water. Carefully mix it all together. I don't want to slosh it around and stuff. All right, so there's all that wonderful seasoning, spices. It just smells so good. Now put that down, grab my meat and onions and garlic here. Oh, that kind of fell out a little fast for me. Oh well. Stir the meat into that tomato sauce. All right, now I'm going to turn my temperature up to about a 5 or 6, a good medium heat. And I want to bring this up to a simmer. Wipe up a little bit so it's not so messy around here. A good cook will clean up as he goes. You don't let it just sit there and accumulate, okay? I got all my stuff picked up. As you can see, I got a simmer going here in my pot, so I'm going to give that a bit of a stir. Now, got to remember, this is a very watery sauce. I wanted it thinner. I was talking with my daughter, and I asked her how she wanted her sauce, if she wanted it thick or thin. She goes, well, if we make garlic toast, I want it thin so you can scrape up that sauce with the toast. But if we're not having garlic bread or garlic toast, then make it thick. That way it all stays on the noodles. Well, we're having garlic bread. So I'm making a slightly thinner sauce. So now that it's up to a simmer, I'm actually going to reduce the heat back down to about a 1.5 to 2, somewhere in there, and then I'm going to slap a lid on it. And that's where it's going to sit for another half an hour. Okay, guys? I'm actually going to time it out. 30 minutes. Okay, so 30 minutes, the sauce will be done. I'll start making the spaghetti in probably the last maybe 20 minutes, okay? Bring the water up to a boil, add the noodles. You know how to cook spaghetti, come on. Now, as you recall, I poured that hamburger and onion in here to drain off all the fat, okay? I do not do that and have it go down the drain. I've actually got another bowl under here to catch all those drippings and stuff from the hamburger. But I do not throw that out in the trash, okay? I do let it go down the drain. However, when I cook the noodles, I'll actually strain off the noodles right in the same colander, okay? So what will happen is the hot boiling water will get in there, liquefying that hamburger grease, and it will flow nice and easily down my drain without clogging it, okay? So that's the hint on doing it this way. Pour the boiling water down over the grease, let it flow through the drain. Yeah, it's a lot easier than waiting for it to solidify, scraping it off in the garbage and stuff. Trust me, this will work. Okay guys, just every so often I need to come in here and give this a little bit of a stir. God, that smells so good. All right, that's looking real good. I like that. Okay, I'm coming up on 20 minutes, so I'm going to turn my front burner on high, start getting this water up to a boil. Okay, so you might notice that I flipped the pans around. So my sauce is now over here. I got my spaghetti noodle pot on the larger front burner here, and I just got the sauce simmering on the smaller burner here. I'm starting to get a lot of good bubbles forming on the bottom. It's not quite to a boil yet, but it's getting there. Okay guys, so I just put in my garlic toast in the oven. It'll be done in maybe like 10 minutes or something like that. And got that on a timer. This is really starting to come up to a boil. I mean, it's, again, just not quite there yet, but I'm going to put my noodles in now. Now, there's actually a couple things you can do with your noodles. You don't have to leave them whole. If you want to, you can take your noodles and you could actually break them. Okay, just, and you break each one of them. I've seen people do it. They don't like the really long spaghetti noodle. All right, then you just take your fork, your little pasta fork, and just start stirring. Just pick up, drag it across, put it down. Pick it up, drag it across, put it down. Just try to keep those strands all separated as they cook. Because if you just dump it in and leave it sit, they'll actually cook in one big solid mass and they won't separate. All that starch and everything from the flour of making the noodle will just literally fuse them all together. All right, now they're starting to loosen up a little bit, so now I can actually more or less stir. Make sure you're running your spoon across the bottom. Make sure they're not sticking to the bottom of the pan. Okay, so when you see your pot bubbling up like this and the bubbles are stacking on top of each other, just blow on the top. See how it dispersed all of the bubbles? That's all you got to do. You know, if blowing on it doesn't help you enough, just turn your burner down, guys. Turn it down to a 9 or an 8. Don't have it on high. Woohoo! Look at that garlic toast, yeah. Of course, you're always coming in here and giving the sauce a stir. You know, don't forget about it just because you're boiling noodles. All right, it's getting to be about done. So we're gonna pick a few up here. Just grab a noodle and you're just gonna literally bite into it. Okay, not quite done yet. It's still quite hard in the middle. All right, so let's take another look at that sauce. That lid is hot. Oh, God, it smells wonderful. All right, so I'm going to turn the burner off because the 30 minutes is up. So I think that is completely done. Let's see about grabbing one off. Perfect. I don't get any of that raw noodle in the middle. Perfectly cooked. So I turned off the heat and we'll dump it down the drain. All right, just dump that boiling water into the colander along with the noodles. Shake the noodles out. You don't have to do this until they stop dripping either. Just get most of the water off. Dump those back in the pot. Dump all that grease oil and hot water down the sink and let that go. All right, put that there. Now what I like to do is I like taking the sauce and pouring it all over the noodles. That way everybody's got the same amount of sauce. You don't have someone coming in and taking just a small little portion of the noodles, but taking like 2 cups of sauce. So I like doing it this way. That way it's all spread out throughout the noodles. All right, then we'll just give this a little stir in. I mean, as you can tell, there's a lot of sauce in here. All right, guys, there you go. Spaghetti. Got some garlic toast here. Now this is just a store-bought garlic toast, but if you wanted to, just go out and buy some nice thick cut Texas toast, butter it, garlic powder over the top of it, maybe a little oregano, a little parsley, something like that. Just keep it really nice and simple. If you want to make it cheesy garlic bread, of course, sprinkle a little mozzarella or even cheddar cheese on the top. Can't beat it, guys, can't beat it. All right. But enough about the garlic bread. This video is about that spaghetti. and specifically the sauce. I mean, it just smells amazing. It's also very hot. Now, I added that extra, what was it, a half teaspoon of red pepper flake. Truthfully, I could have done without it, but my oldest daughter, she likes spicy food. So I put it in basically for her. So easy, guys, so easy. And to think that you go out and call up your little Italian pizzeria place and actually place orders for spaghetti. You can make it yourself and it will be healthier for you. God, this is good. Let me put this down. Oh, like I said, that's got a little bit of a spicy kick to it. It actually made me sweat a little bit. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a little bit of something. Cooking is so easy, guys. Please try my stuff. I don't make difficult dishes. I really try to keep it very low key to where anybody can cook what I make, okay? Simple directions, full directions. I hate it when I see a recipe and there's only 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, but then you start reading the method, all those steps, and step 1 is brown the hamburger, step 2 is add this, 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 and then once you do that, then you do this and this and this, and then once you do that, you do this and this and this, and then once you do that, you do this, this, and this. And so it's like step 2 is like technically 5 steps, okay? I don't do that, okay? If you read through my description below, I'll have it step by step, literally, okay? So please follow the directions, and when you read a recipe, make sure you understand exactly what you're going to be doing, okay? That is the main thing about cooking. And if you're following a recipe, read through it first. You can read through the ingredients and gather that stuff up, okay? Just kind of like what I do on the counter. Lay it all out in front of you. It makes it so much easier. And then you go through and you start reading the directions on exactly what you're going to do, and start getting that picture in your head of okay, I got this step I got to do, and then during that I got to do this and this, and then I can go back and do this, and then finish it off, okay? That is basically how cooking goes. What, you think you're going to get spaghetti? Look at this. She thinks she's going to get some of that spaghetti. No, I don't think so. So I want to say thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you try the dish, and I hope you enjoy it. Again, if things just seem not your particular taste, like the spice or the sweetness, adjust those things. It's easy to do, okay? You just got to play with it and figure it out. If you did not watch my last motorcycle video, you will know that I am not going to put up the little splash page that says like, share, comment, subscribe, because I am here to encourage you to get out and try stuff, try new food, get out on that walk, get a little exercise, enjoy nature, jump on that bike and find a new road, find your adventure, but always believe that you can do it. And that is my new closing for my videos now. I will just look at you and say, always believe. Bye, guys.